The central idea of emotional intelligence by Daniel Goleman is that success in life is not determined only by IQ or academic intelligence. Instead, the ability to understand, manage, and use emotions effectively, both our own and those of others, plays a much bigger role in determining how successful, happy, and fulfilled we become. Emotional intelligence, often called EQ, includes skills such as self-awareness, self-control, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These emotional abilities shape our relationships, decision-making, leadership abilities, and overall life outcomes. For many years, society believed that intelligence was mainly cognitive, meaning the ability to solve problems, perform logical reasoning, and learn information quickly. However, research in neuroscience and psychology has shown that emotions are deeply connected to thinking and decision-making. Goleman explains that emotions are not the enemy of reason. Instead, they are essential guides that help humans survive and navigate complex social environments. To understand emotional intelligence, Goleman first explains how the human brain processes emotions. The brain has several key structures involved in emotional reactions, but one of the most important is the amygdala. The amygdala acts like an emotional alarm system. It constantly scans the environment for danger or important signals. When it detects a threat, it triggers an immediate emotional reaction such as fear, anger, or anxiety before the rational part of the brain, the neocortex, has time to fully analyze the situation. This is known as an amygdala hijack. In such moments, people react impulsively, saying or doing things they later regret. For example, someone may explode in anger during an argument or panic during a stressful event. Emotional intelligence helps individuals recognize these emotional impulses and manage them before they spiral out of control. Instead of reacting automatically, emotionally intelligent people learn to pause, think, and respond more wisely. Self-awareness is the first core component of emotional intelligence. It refers to the ability to recognize and understand one's own emotions as they occur. Many people go through life without fully understanding what they feel or why they feel it. They may experience anger, jealousy, sadness, or anxiety but fail to recognize the underlying causes. Self-aware individuals are more attuned to their internal emotional signals. They can identify feelings accurately and understand how those feelings influence their behavior. For example, a self-aware person might notice that stress from work is making them irritable at home and take steps to address the issue. Without self-awareness, emotions control us without our realizing it. Goleman explains that self-awareness is the foundation upon which all other emotional skills are built. The second key component is self-regulation, also called emotional self-control. Once people become aware of their emotions, the next challenge is learning how to manage them effectively. Self-regulation does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending they do not exist. Instead, it involves acknowledging emotions while choosing how to express them appropriately. People with strong self-regulation can stay calm under pressure, think clearly during conflicts, and resist impulsive reactions. They do not allow anger, fear, or frustration to dictate their behavior. This ability is especially important in leadership and professional environments. Leaders who lack emotional control often create toxic workplaces because their moods spread to others. In contrast, emotionally intelligent leaders remain composed, which helps stabilize the emotional climate of the entire team. Another major element of emotional intelligence is motivation. According to Goleman, emotionally intelligent individuals tend to have strong internal motivation. They pursue goals with persistence and enthusiasm not just because of external rewards like money or status but because they find personal meaning in their work. This intrinsic motivation helps them remain resilient in the face of obstacles and setbacks. People with high emotional intelligence are better at delaying gratification and staying focused on long-term goals rather than immediate pleasures. For example, a student who is motivated internally may continue studying diligently even when progress feels slow because they are driven by curiosity and purpose rather than short-term rewards. Empathy is another fundamental pillar of emotional intelligence. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It involves recognizing emotional signals such as facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. Humans are naturally equipped with neural systems that allow us to sense the emotions of others, which is why we often feel uncomfortable when someone near us is distressed or joyful when others celebrate success. However, empathy can be strengthened through awareness and practice. People with strong empathy are better at forming deep relationships because they genuinely understand the perspectives and needs of others. Empathy also plays a crucial role in leadership, parenting, teaching, and any profession that involves human interaction. A manager who understands the emotional concerns of employees can create a supportive work environment, while a doctor who empathizes with patients can provide more compassionate care. The final key component of emotional intelligence is social skills. Social skills refer to the ability to manage relationships effectively, communicate clearly, resolve conflicts, and inspire cooperation. People with strong social skills tend to be good listeners and effective communicators. They can persuade others, build networks, and create positive interactions. Social intelligence allows individuals to read social situations accurately and respond in ways that strengthen relationships rather than damage them. For example, emotionally intelligent people can sense tension in a group and use humor or diplomacy to defuse the situation. These skills are essential not only for personal relationships but also for professional success. Goleman emphasizes that emotional intelligence develops early in life through childhood experiences. Children learn emotional skills primarily from parents and caregivers. When parents respond patiently to a child's emotions, acknowledging feelings and guiding the child toward constructive behavior, the child gradually learns how to regulate emotions independently. However, if parents consistently respond with anger, neglect, or dismissal, children may struggle to develop healthy emotional patterns. For instance, a child whose emotions are ignored might grow up suppressing feelings, while a child exposed to frequent anger may adopt aggressive behavior. Emotional education during childhood therefore has profound long-term effects. The book also discusses how modern society sometimes neglects emotional development. Schools traditionally focus heavily on academic knowledge such as mathematics, science, and language but often overlook emotional and social skills. Yet research shows that emotional competence strongly influences academic performance as well as long-term life outcomes. Programs that teach children emotional awareness, conflict resolution, and empathy have been shown to improve both behavior and academic achievement. Students who learn emotional skills are better able to manage stress, cooperate with classmates, and focus on learning. Another key idea in the book is that emotions are contagious. Humans unconsciously mimic and absorb the emotions of people around them. When someone enters a room in a bad mood, the negativity often spreads throughout the group. Conversely, a positive and enthusiastic individual can uplift the emotional atmosphere of everyone nearby. This phenomenon is especially important in leadership roles. Leaders who display optimism, calmness, and confidence can create a productive and motivated environment, while leaders who frequently show anger or anxiety may spread stress among employees. Goleman also explores the connection between emotional intelligence and relationships. Successful relationships depend heavily on emotional skills such as empathy, communication, and conflict resolution. Couples who understand each other's emotions and communicate openly are far more likely to maintain healthy relationships. In contrast, couples who react defensively or dismiss each other's feelings often fall into destructive patterns. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to express feelings constructively, listen empathetically, and resolve disagreements without escalating conflict. Another interesting aspect discussed in the book is the concept of emotional literacy. Emotional literacy means being able to accurately identify and articulate feelings. Many people have a limited emotional vocabulary, often describing complex feelings simply as good or bad. Developing emotional literacy helps individuals understand subtle differences between emotions such as frustration, disappointment, anxiety, or resentment. Once people can label emotions precisely, they gain greater control over them. The book also highlights how emotional intelligence affects mental health. People who lack emotional awareness often struggle with chronic stress, anxiety, or depression because they do not understand how to process emotions effectively. Emotional intelligence provides tools for coping with challenges in healthier ways. For example, recognizing early signs of stress allows individuals to take preventive action such as relaxation, exercise, or seeking support from others. Goleman further explains that emotional intelligence can be developed throughout life. Unlike IQ, which remains relatively stable after childhood, emotional skills can improve with practice and conscious effort. Techniques such as mindfulness, reflection, and emotional journaling help individuals become more aware of their emotional patterns. Learning to pause before reacting, practicing empathy during conversations, and developing active listening skills are practical ways to strengthen emotional intelligence. The importance of emotional intelligence becomes especially clear in leadership. Traditional leadership models often focused on authority, technical expertise, and strategic thinking. However, modern research shows that the most effective leaders are those who possess strong emotional intelligence. Such leaders inspire trust, manage conflicts effectively, and build cohesive teams. They understand the emotional needs of their employees and create environments where people feel valued and motivated. Ultimately, the message of emotional intelligence is that emotions are not weaknesses but powerful sources of information and energy. When people learn to understand and manage emotions effectively, they gain greater control over their lives, relationships, and decisions. Emotional intelligence helps individuals navigate the complexities of human interaction, overcome challenges, and pursue meaningful goals. It bridges the gap between intellect and emotion, showing that true intelligence involves not only thinking clearly but also feeling wisely.